Hey, it's Elliot from Auto Precision. We got the white car strapped down, getting ready to make some baseline pulls and see how much we're going to get stock, and then we'll be doing the headers and put it back on and see what it makes with 93 and E85. Let you know how it goes. So I'm just getting everything set up. I have the data logger logging some things on the base pull. Got the car warming up, setting the dyno RPM, and we'll go through some gears, get the temperatures up, make a base pull, get a data log of anything it's doing, just to help us out if there's any other issues with the car. Customer stated there was a little surge, doing something funny at idle, and I just want to get a data log of it cruising on the dyno, see if I can find that issue on the data log so I can help fix that, and then, like I said, do the headers and tune and go from there. All right, we have the vehicle up to temperature, got the RPM set on the dyno, and we'll get ready to make our base pull right now. All right, here we go. All right, everything sounded pretty good. We'll go back and review the file. We'll click on the dyno sheet. Looking at the file here. Fuel trims look pretty good. Took it to about 6,800 RPMs. I'm gonna go out here and see what the dyno sheet says. Click on the mouse. If I can't see it from there, I'll jump out. Okay, it made 374 and 344 torque on the first pull. That's standard smoothing 5. I'll make one more pull to back it up, and we'll see what it compares to. Give you guys a video on the outside on the second pull, and then I'll go over and show you the dyno sheet. Yeah, so second pull picked up a little bit. Oil was a little bit warmer. 380, 343. Lost like 1 torque, but usually pick up a little bit of horsepower. But yeah, that's our baseline, and we'll get ready to put it on the lift and start the headers, and I'll record all that, and then we'll do the before and after, 93, and then also E85. All right, well, the car is on the lift now. Had to use the board since it's got these Eibach Sport springs. So, stock exhaust will have to come out. I'll be setting it up on a time lapse. Got 2 sensors, pull them out. Connection here. Steering shaft, motor mounts, and then taking all the bolts out up there. Starter will need removed. Pretty tight. It's tight getting up to these bolts and everything. But yeah, take the starter out, take all that off, and then come back. Rest of the exhaust will come out. I think the guy has Borla mufflers. And then the box, here's the headers. Open them up, seeing that damage there. And we noticed the X-plate was missing. Looks like Speed Engineering's coming out with some better gaskets. And I actually noticed they put new engravings on the one headers, but they look pretty good. Quality's definitely not bad with the Speed Engineering. I only saw it a few sets before. I think it was on the other one. Let me show you this one real quick. Had a little decal on it, a little logo I thought was pretty neat on the header. Right there. Speed Engineering. There's the O2 extensions. I usually use the small bolts here. Yeah, I usually use these bolts. The small ones, I never use these gaskets. I only ever use this style or the factory style, or you will have leaks. I actually helped another local guy. I told him kind of some tips and forgot to tell him about the gaskets. And here he accidentally used those perforated ones, and they leaked and he had to do the job twice. So, all right, we'll start the time lapse and get the headers out. Got the manifold off, had to raise the motor up a little bit, got some work knocked out real quick, raised the motor, pulled the motor mount off, steering shaft, and then got to all those bolts. Got to pull all those studs, get ready to clean that surface. And then over here we got starter removed, other motor mount out, motor raised up to clear all that. Now I got all these bolts to pull out next. All them rusty bolts. This thing's been a little crusty, but they're coming. A little extra force, PB blaster. All right, keep you posted. All right, we got the passenger header out. It was, it's tight fit. That top one up there is pretty tight to get to. That one right there. And then the very front one, the AC line's in the way, and then getting them studs out. So I pulled the studs. I got the header to come out with it raised up, but you got to pull the studs out to do the bolts. And now we'll start to install the headers, and I'll show you how they fit. All right, headers are in. They're all fitted up. Put the motor mount back in. It's super tight up in there to get to them bolts, especially like this top one up here. Very hard to get to. Some of these had to get a helper to hold the headers up in there while threading the bolts in, because they're snug, they're tight. Working on the other side now, motor mount. That motor mount's tight. And then put the starter in and then start working on the rest of it. But headers are looking nice. Fitment's good. All right, report back in a minute. All right, got the rest of it on. Went ahead and got it knocked out off camera. Essentially, with having an aftermarket catback, you take I call them the legs on the kit, and you shorten them up, because this has a bigger flange. Then it narrows it down and you fit them in here. So you shorten those, and it meets right up to the aftermarket catbacks on these Speed Engineering kits. But the X-pipe looks awesome, clamps look good. Look at them headers. Can't wait to do the first fire up and make sure everything's good. Get the tips all in. All right, we'll be lowering it down and give you first fire up. All right, here we go. First cold start fire up with the long tubes. Man, they sound good. All right, we got it warmed up now, and get ready to make a little rev. All right, here is the highest stock file at the 380 before the headers and 343 torque, and just got done on 93 octane and it made 422, 419. Here's your long tube header install and 93 octane custom tune file. I think that's very impressive numbers, definitely a huge pickup. Now it's time to do the E85 stuff, see how much more we can get out of it with the E85 and the injectors. All right, talk to you soon. Made our last and final pull. Just made really great power with E85. I'll show you the comparison between the E85 and the 93 pull, but I think you guys are going to be pretty impressed with the numbers and the pickup from E85 93, especially the long tube headers. Really made a big difference. Okay, there it is. Got the E85 tune dialed in. Made some really impressive gains on it, 437 and 433 torque. I just think that's phenomenal how much power and torque that we got out of this thing. And the green is E85. The blue is 93 octane tuned with the long tubes. And the 380 is the base stock file with 93 octane. All right, talk to you guys soon. So guys, we just wrapped up the E85 tuning on it, and I'm very impressed with the numbers. I think this car performed really well, but that's something that you can expect from long tube headers, E85. I absolutely think that that is the best combination you can do for a bolt-on Gen 2 or Gen 1 Mustang. If you want to see more content like this, like and subscribe, comment, let us know how we're doing. All right, take care.